Namaskar friends, welcome to yet another episode of Substance in Jain Philosophy. On my last vlog, I got some few feedback from my friends and viewers that I should have given more example to clarify these concepts because these are actually highly philosophical concepts. So maybe the video was short or maybe I couldn't give proper examples. So right now that's why I'm recording the second part of this to clarify the concept for me as well and for you as well. So again, I would like to bring to your kind notice that if any scholar or any scholarly person is watching this video, please pardon me if I am getting these wrong anywhere because I am going to explain them as per my best of understanding. So I apologize for that. So let's start. The first substance, as I called Jiva, or it is called in English as the soul, or the consciousness, or being, or whatever we can call, or Hindi we can call it Chetana, or Antas, or whatever, right? So, Jiva is actually in Jain philosophy in the sacred text of Samay Sar. Samay Sar will be translated in English as the essence of soul, the essence of being. So in that text, Acharya Kundakunda has written that one who knows the soul, who knows the real nature of the soul, knows the whole of Jain philosophy. So it is a beautiful substance. I mean, as I am speaking, I can say that I am the manifestation of the soul. And if you are getting it, if you are listening to me, you are paying attention to it, you are also a manifestation of the soul. And other examples can be, we can see around us, there are plenty of examples, innumerable of examples. For example, I'm looking out of the window, I can see trees, even the mosquitoes, or any living being, ants, even the worm in the rice or in the pulses. So any movable or non-movable being as well, they all are different manifestations of this substance, the soul substance. So I have been studying Jainism since past 10 years and it has caused my transformation. Whatever I am doing in my life today, it is because of all these sacred studies. So according to me, if I talk about soul, I think this can be the only substance through which, if you have interest to know this, you will eventually attain the whole knowledge, whatever is there in the universe. So this is that powerful. Yeah, the soul is that powerful, and whatever we do, it is like we are doing it to satiate it or to explore it, whether we are aware of it or not, but we are doing it, whatever we are doing it, to attain this, to go to this, to understand, to have a better understanding of this, right? So according to Jainism, the jiva, the soul substance, has two major attributes in it. One is knowledge and the other is perception. So each jiva, each soul is capable to attain knowledge and to perceive things as they are in their reality, in their totality. So again, it leads to karma, which is a different topic. We'll discuss it in some other video. That because of the layers of karma, the soul, the consciousness, the being sees the covered reality, the false reality, right? So this is the thing. But the soul's journey, the jiva's journey, is all about to shed the layers of that ignorance, of that karma, and gradually and very gradually, through gaining knowledge and through clarifying its perception, move towards its true nature, which is the true nature of soul is bliss, in short. Yeah, actually it has many 2 3 4 more attributes, but to be shortened, if I'll say the true nature of the consciousness is bliss. This is the reason why we always seek for pleasure, for seek not pleasure, we seek for happiness, inner happiness, right? So I think this is the best way through which I could describe this substance, because as I said earlier as well, in future also we will be talking about more and more and more about this topic. Every other substance is eventually related to this. So this is the main, you can say, the core of Jain philosophy, right? So the second substance is Ajiva, or the matter. So matter, like I told in the previous video as well, whatever we see, the solid objects are all caused by matter, or are all made up of matter. But here we are talking about the param atom. If we'll say it will also be not the right word. It is actually the smallest indivisible part, or unit, you can say. Yeah. So if we talk about this pen or this board, the smallest indivisible unit of that is the real matter, the matter, or the paramanu, you can say. Paramanu. Yeah. So it has 6 qualities in it, 6 basic qualities in it to fulfill itself as the matter. So again, I'm not going to that qualities, because that will take long. It will make this video complicated, because I want you to go ahead on this journey of gaining knowledge very slowly, very slightly, and with me, or even I will also be gaining knowledge through recording these videos. This is my whole purpose actually. So coming to the third substance, which is dharma dravya, or the medium of motion. So medium of motion, the example of which is, as I told you earlier, that it helps us in moving things, moving from going one place to another, like I am also moving my hand, or whatever movement is there in the universe. The trees are moving because of the wind. It is all because of this medium of motion. And just opposite to this is a dharma dravya, which is medium of rest. Again, if there is something which is helping us in movement, there is exactly the opposite of the same also exists, which is medium of rest. I would like to clarify it again. Medium of rest and medium of motion with the context of akash, or space. So if we talk about, coming to the fifth substance, if we talk about akash or space, it has, we can divide it into 2 parts. One is the cosmic space, and the other is supracosmic space. In Hindi, we can call them Lokakash and Alokakash. So basically what we mean by cosmic space is that cosmic space is that which contains all these substances in it, right? So the universe we see, wherever we live, wherever the other beings live, or the aliens, or whoever are there in the universe, be it any living being, or stationary, whatever is there, is located in the cosmic space. Supracosmic space is that which lies beyond the cosmic space. I know it may seem a bit difficult for you, but if you will contemplate over it, and in future when we will be studying further concepts like cosmology and Jainism and other topics, you will gradually get to know what I mean by this supracosmic space. So now coming to this point specifically in context of medium of motion and medium of rest, we will see that supracosmic space is which is beyond the cosmic space. So in supracosmic space there is no substance at all. there is only blank space, no substance, no soul, no matter, neither of these, and in fact time will also not be there automatically. So supracosmic space is that where there are no substance, there can be no substance. So if we'll talk about medium of motion and medium of rest, so when cosmic space contains all the six substances, supracosmic space, these two substances are missing in supracosmic space. So, and as we discussed that all the motion and the stationary position are caused by medium of motion and medium of rest. So because of the absence of these two substances in supracosmic space, there can be no movement, or no substance can go there or move beyond the boundaries of cosmic space. So I think this could be the best I could make it clear as of now. So coming back to time or samay, it is like as we discussed in earlier as well, that the time is one is the practical time, and the other is transcendental time. Right? So practical time in Hindi we can call it Vyavahar Kal. So basically, as we can see with the name also, practical time is the time we measure according to which with our limits, like nanoseconds, seconds, minutes, hours, weeks, and so on, right? And transcendental time again is the smallest indivisible unit of time, right? So I know again this is a highly philosophical topic. We won't go into detail, but this is very, very interesting, and it gives you food for thought, so whatever we see occurring in context of time in front of us is actually caused by the smallest indivisible unit of time, which is the transcendental time, and we call it in Hindi is Nishchay Kal. So just like if I'm seeing this pen, I'm able to see this pen, or even I'm able to see this S, right? This is also caused by the smallest indivisible unit of matter. So I think this is it for now. I think they cannot be described as per my understanding beyond this. So we will be discussing more on these topics. I think this is sufficient for now. I do hope that my videos are providing more food for thought, more contemplation to you later afterwards, after you watch these videos. So that's it for now, friends. Thank you so much. See you very soon, and just keep in touch. Stay home and stay safe. Bye bye.